College Football Update with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Loosemore.
So let's see. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go to the Big 12 in here. Obviously, Oklahoma, even after their loss, now they are tied atop the Big 12. Five teams: Oklahoma, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Texas, and Kansas State, all 4-1. And we know Oklahoma beat Texas. We know what Texas beat Kansas State. We know, you know what I mean? All Oklahoma's playing Oklahoma State. This one right here, this race right here, you want to talk about a hot race. Then you go right under that Kansas, West Virginia, both with only 2 losses. What are you looking at in this, man? This is the one that excites me.
I am looking at this week and this week specifically. You want to talk about those top 6 teams? They all play each other this week.
Yep.
You've got Kansas State, Texas, so you've got 4 and 5.
Yep.
You've got Oklahoma State, 1 and 3. And then you've got Kansas, Iowa State, 2 and 6.
Good God.
Good Lord.
Yep.
What a week for the CFP rankings to come out and these conference matchups. Because we're going to narrow it down to 3 real quick.
Yep. Absolutely. Which way do you think it goes? I mean, OU obviously still up there. Texas, let's see what happens when they go up against maybe a couple tougher teams. The longer they have to play without Quinn Ewers. But who do you think's the top 2 or top 3 guys when it'll shake out?
I think top 2 is still Oklahoma, Texas. I think the way Malik Murphy played this past week, I know it was against BYU, but I think they sustained this long enough. Them being at home against Kansas State really helps. But with that physicality in the run game, that offensive line, and the way that defense is playing, I think they can do enough to hold Kansas State off. And as soon as they get Quinn Ewers back, they're fine. I think their poor clock management, like if you improve that clock management, they're undefeated in the conference. I think they would have beat Oklahoma there. I was questioning Sarkisian for not using his timeouts. I was sitting there with my family watching the game, and I was like, he should use the timeouts. He should use the timeouts. Like, he should really use these timeouts as Oklahoma's marching down the field. So, yeah. But, yeah, I like Oklahoma over Oklahoma State this week. I like Texas over Kansas State. And I like Kansas over Iowa State this week. So I think those will be your top 3 going into next week.
So I'm gonna switch with you on one, and that's the Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. These last couple of weeks have really been tough for Oklahoma. They, 1-1, but they could have easily been 0-2. Oklahoma State is on that 4-game winning streak. I've talked about Ollie Gordon back-to-back weeks, and if they get that running game going, I think that's going to be a hotly contested game. But look, after this. After they play OU, they got UCF, Houston, and BYU, who can still come up and smack you in the mouth, but
they're all at the bottom of the
exactly. So Oklahoma State, in reality, you get this win over Oklahoma, and you could pretty much have a clean road right down to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I see. Now, I'm always going to hold out hope. I'm going out this weekend to West Virginia, so I'm always going to hold out hope to those Mountaineers.
They played BYU this week, so and then what's their path the rest of the way? So I feel pretty good about them beating BYU at home. Then they go to Oklahoma, host Cincinnati, go to Baylor. So if you got past Oklahoma, then you need help from some of these other teams around you. But with a win over Oklahoma, you could make an argument that they're in the fight for that Big 12 title.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see. I know about 5 or 6 people that are holding out hope that the Mountaineers keep it together. All right. And I'm hoping to have a good holiday season. So let's go Mountaineers. All right.